Be ready. Start. The conceptualization of violence against women and girls as a violation of human rights was one of achievements of the women's movement during the Second World Conference on Human Rights in Vienna in 1993. The United Nations Commission on Human Rights set forth a resolution that integrated women's rights within the mechanisms of assuring protection of human rights by the adoption of DEVAW 1993 mentioned above. International law can be interpreted to have defined gender based violence as a human rights violation. This declaration clearly states that violence against women constitutes a violation of women's rights and freedoms. So, gender based violence is incompatible with the value of a democratic state and the rule of law. The use of a human rights framework has the underlying notion that all human beings are entitled to lives without what is thought to be a preventable sufferings. Since universal gender inequality creates conditions of exploitation and subordination for women in the economic and social sphere, the lack of attention of these rights is of great concern to women. Women globally are demanding that their rights should move beyond promises into guarantees. Gender based violence is the fate of millions of women all over the world, and this is affecting their productivity both in their homes, communities, and places of work. Identifying where the violence towards women occurs and new institutionalized power relations keeps women in a subordinate position and can be gathered at three levels of gender based violence. These are at the home or family level, the community level, and the state level. The institution of the family, besides being a major site of gender based violence, is also an area where historical gender relations are often played out. On the one hand, the family is the source of positive, nurturing, and caring, where individuals are bonded by mutual respect and love, but on the other hand, it can be a social institution which exploits the labor of its members, where male sexual power is violently expressed and where socialization patterns disempower women. The family is considered by feminists to be the core institution within which gender inequalities are organized and reproduced. Family is the arena where physical abuse, spousal battering, sexual assault and sexual abuse and stroke or psychological abuse, domestic violence can also take such forms as confinement, forced marriage of women arranged by her family without her consent, threats, insults, and neglects, over control of a woman's sexuality through either forced pregnancy or forced abortions. Violence within families and households takes place in the home, and so it is often seen as a private issue, and information about it is lacking. The community plays a critical role in reinforcing the structure of the family and the position of women within it. The community not only defines gender relations within an ideal family and thereby often sets the stage for female subordination, it also perpetrates certain forms of violence. Violence against women within the community is often characterized by attacks on the honor of women and by association on their communities as part of an assault by one group on another. Communities justify the behavior of male abusers aimed at establishing control over women in the family and support harmful traditional practices such as battering and corporal punishment. Workplace can also be a site of violence either in government services or in a business company. Women are vulnerable to sexual aggression, harassment, intimidation, and commercialized violence, trafficking for sexual exploitation. State is the arena that protects women's human rights and at the same time constrains them. The state becomes a major instrument in transforming certain legislative, administrative, and judicial practices which empower women to vindicate their rights, and at the same time, the negligence on the part of the state may be the cause of increased violence against women, while the active intervention of the state may actually be the catalyst for the realization of certain women's rights. The history of legal reforms to protect women's rights in the Indian context is replete with examples of the state's dual role. While several acts have been passed to protect women from violence, especially domestic violence, the weak implementation of these very acts and legislations continue to keep women in a position of subordination and powerlessness. State inaction in incidents of violence against women is one of the major causes that allows such violence to continue. Taking together, the family, the community, and the state constitutes not only a pervasive and interactive system for legitimizing violence but the central point for acts of violence as well. Due to the immense vastness of the issue, it is not feasible to deal with every aspect of gender violence, and it confines itself to one of crucial aspect of gender based violence, that is domestic violence occurring within the family. Thank you.